Hello, this is Wolfman611, and today we'll be looking at the Microsoft Lifechat LX-3000 USB headset. Now, should give you a bit of a background here. I decided to check these headphones out after hearing for years now where people would say, well, you know, if you wanted to get good audio quality and stuff like that for recording audio, like your voice, and you wanted to hear good audio coming back through the headphones, the one way to go was to go USB. Due to the fact that the headphones basically are digital right from the get-go, they avoid the whole transferring down a long mic cord into the sound card and going through the analog to digital conversion process. So for that reason, these are supposed to sound, you know, fairly better than what you would get off a standard analog headset and a sound card. Now, I have a standard analog headset made by Logitech and an Audigy first generation sound card. So it was going to be an interesting test to test these out. If they're going to be better than what I got, the analog headset and the sound card, then I'm all for using them. Now, as you can see, they're pretty light too. I mean, this headset only costs 30-40 bucks, somewhere around that range, so you really can't, you know, they're not going to be too well built, if you know what I mean. You can move the mic. This is all fairly bendable and whatnot. Put it wherever you want it. On this end here, this is the remote where you can do things like mute. You can launch the software which does voice chat and whatever with this middle button, and then you got your volume up and down. Of course, on the end of the cord, there's your USB plug. When I use these, what I did was I turned around and I'm on TeamSpeak on a fairly regular basis with some friends of mine. So I just plugged these things in and hopped on over to TeamSpeak just to see if they would notice any difference, hoping to have them say, what marvelous sound you have. And so I get the headset on and head over to TeamSpeak and start talking, and right away they both, two buddies of mine that are on there, jump in and say, you know, what did you do to your audio? I said, why? I said, what's wrong with it? And they said, well, you sound like an announcer from the 1930s. There's no bass in your voice. It's all tinny sounding, like nasal sounding as well. So I thought, no, that's interesting. So what I did is I went and downloaded Audacity, the sound editor, and loaded that up. And so I went in there and recorded the audio coming off this USB headset here, and was quite surprised to see that they were right. The actual audio coming through the mic doesn't sound that great at all. And immediately upon hearing this, I figured, well, so much for the great USB headphone experiment, because there's no way I can use something like that sounds that bad. And it did sound bad. Now, if you're in a pinch and you have to use something like these headphones, it's a whole different story, and you use them and put up with the way they are. However, I got other options, so I'm not going to, definitely won't be using these for voice chat. Now, in terms of audio quality coming into the headphones through music players and whatnot, they sound pretty good. But again, they're not the greatest thing I've ever heard, and they're just adequate, if you want to call it that. The one thing I was amazed by is on the remote, this thing here, is that when I adjusted the volume, now keep in mind I also have a sound card installed in the machine, in the computer, but when I adjusted this volume switch up and down, it didn't actually adjust the volume on the headset mixer. It instead adjusted my Audigy volume up and down, and there was no way I could get it to change. So I'm thinking these things here must be designed for if you have a computer that doesn't have any sound card at all, in which case you wouldn't have that problem. You would turn the volume up and down, and it would move the mixer volume up and down for the headphones. The other problem I had with the headphones was the actual software that itself, that once it got installed, there was no treble or bass on the mixer. It's just plain Jane basic as you can get in terms of a mixer. There is no options on it at all. And this is a bit of a drag. I mean, if you're dealing with multiple audio programs like I do, you want to be able to get your treble and bass relatively easy, like in terms of trying to access it. So on the Windows mixer, for example, for the Audigy, I can go in there, hit one button, and right away I see the treble and bass, which affects everything system-wide across the computer. Well, these headsets here, this headset, don't have that. So that was also a bit of a drag. I guess the price is good. I mean, like I said, 30 to 40 bucks, but again, if they don't sound very good or don't do as you expect, then I guess 30 or 40 bucks is better spent elsewhere. There's a side of them there. So for the time being, at least, I haven't found a set of headphones that are going to sway me off my old setup that I use. Hopefully one day I'll find that, and that's the thing to you viewers out there watching this video. If you know of a good USB headset in terms of sound quality coming in, and especially actually the mic audio is more important to me than the actual audio coming through the headphones. But if you know of a set that sounds really good in both areas, let me know. Give me a message on the website or in the forums. Send me an email, whatever, and I'll see if I can get them in for review and do a video on them. So that's it. That's the Microsoft Lifechat LX-3000 USB headset. That's what you get. This is Wolfman611 signing out. Don't forget to go to the website www.wolfmanzbytes.com. Check out the main page and you'll see the more detailed text review of these headphones on the website. So once again, this is Wolfman's. Take care.